Hi guys, my name is Lana and welcome back to my channel. I did a video on the requirements you need to register a business name and a company. So I'm doing a checklist for the requirements you need in registering an NGO. An NGO is a non-governmental organization that is registered because of mutual affiliation of people. People join together to register these NGOs so that they can actually help the community, help the public for welfare and for different other reasons. It might be for religious reasons, cultural reasons, educational reasons. So these are NGOs. They are non-governmental organizations and they are non-profits. You don't make profit from it. The way they get their money is either by fundraiser, donations, offering from the public or general people at large. If registering a company is tedious, then registering an NGO is an icing on the cake. It takes the cap away from registration. The process is tedious. It's not as easy as registering a company. And because of so many things that CAC require from the client, we always inform our clients to prepare, to have themselves prepared with every detailed document before they start the process. That is why I'm here to just give you the requirements, so that if you have desire to register a non-governmental organization in future, you should have these things at hand. One, you should have to propose names that you prefer, so that whenever CAC register, approve anyone, you'd like the other one. But these names, most of the time, they end either with foundation, organization, association, different forms, because even alumni or clubs or sport clubs or market women union, they do register NGOs. So these are the way, when a company ends with limited, yes, a company can end with limited. An NGO can end with foundation, organization, union, association, thereabouts. So you should have two preferred names. Number two, you should have a proposed registered office where your NGO is going to be located. CAC will definitely ask you for that. Then the board of trustees. In a company, you just need 2 directors, not less than 2 directors to register your company. In an NGO, you need board of trustees. Most of the time, it's advisable to have 5 on a safe side. Yes, 5 board of trustees. These are the people that are more like acting as the directors of the company, people that spearheaded the registration of the NGO. So board of directors, their names, the documentation, their names, their sex, date of birth, email addresses, personal address, occupation should be at hand for every board of trustee that you need. Then each board of trustees need 2 passport photographs that will be submitted. I think one will be used for the declaration form that needs to be signed and the other one for the application form. These are 2 passports needed. Then there is also what we call the principal officers. The principal officers or executive officers, they are not necessarily the board of trustees. They are the chairman, the secretary, the financial secretary, treasurer. They make up the principal office. You also need 7 members that are not board of trustees and they are not principal officers. These people are required for their names to be submitted to CAC. So these are like the requirements you need. And an NGO requires a common seal, and it's a metal seal which is needed so that whenever they have an agreement or they go into discussion with people, it's their common seal that represents, not the signature of any of the board of trustees. So these are basically the requirements you need. After you get this, just know that you still need to fill an application form. This form now has to have the approved name, has to have the registered office, and then has to have a brief description of the aim and objective. The aims and objective is the must because it's the purpose or the reason why you are registering the NGO. So a brief description of the aims and objectives will also be in that application form. Then the names of the board of trustees will be in the application form. When you finish filling that application form, the application form will be submitted with other documents. Yes, because with other documents, because when you're doing the NGO registration, the process needs to be published in the newspapers, and it's not just one newspaper, it's 3 newspapers, 2 national dailies and 1 local daily. This local daily has to be the one where the registered office of the NGO is. So so that people around can actually know that an NGO is being registered, and if they have any problem, they can decide to query the registration of such an NGO. So publication of three national, three dailies, two national, one local one will accompany the application form. Then two copies of a constitution. Constitution is like the bedrock of an NGO. It is what guides them. It's like everything in their rules. So the rules governing the affairs of the NGO should be in the constitution. The names of the board of trustees will be there, and the executive officers will be there inside the constitution. The aims and objectives will be there. How they want to raise funds will be there. So two copies of the constitution must accompany that application form. The constitution is like it's the bedrock. So in an NGO, there is no memorandum of association or articles of association. It's the constitution that actually makes all that. Then minutes of meeting. Why the minutes of meeting is important? Because this is where you have a resolution for appointing the board of trustees. Then there is a special clause which needs to be signed, or which to accompany, that's the adoption of the constitution in the minutes of meeting. Then the voting pattern, how you vote your board of trustees or the executive officers, is written in the minutes of meeting. Then this minutes of meeting has to be signed by the chairman and the secretary. So these are the things that accompany the application form. So the process